Because so many people don't want to look like they're falling behind in life, the topic of a person's net worth can be an emotional one for almost everyone. Even if we know that our net worth isn't as high as that of Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos, we often think it's easier to compare it to the average net worth of people the same age as us. About every 3 years, the Federal Reserve does a study that looks at how U.S. consumers are doing with their money. This survey is called SCF, and the last time it was done was in 2019. Today, we're going to talk about the poll's results and find out what the average and median net worth in the U.S. is, as well as how it varies by age group. At the end of the video, we'll talk about some good ways you can increase your net worth. Before we start showing all of the data, we think it would be helpful to first explain what we mean by net worth. What does the term net worth mean? Your net worth is the difference between what you own and what you owe. This simple phrase can be used to figure out how rich you are. It's important to note that this has nothing to do with income. Instead, it's a calculation of how rich you would be right now if you stopped working and sold everything you owned. Your assets are all the things you own that have value and can be sold. This means that your net worth includes all of these things. This can include, among other things, your house, car, securities, and bank account assets. Your debts, or everything you owe to other people, are part of your net worth. Consumer debt includes things like mortgages, car loans, school loans, and credit card debt. If we want to show you how to figure out your net worth, let's start by looking at what you own, or your assets. Imagine that you own a house that is now on the market for $535,000. You own a car that could be worth $20,000 if you sold it. You have $9,000 in cash in your bank account and $18,000 worth of stocks in your portfolio. When you add up all of these assets, you'll find that they're worth a total of $582,000. Then, let's look at all of your obligations, which are also called the money you owe. One reason for this could be that you still owe $380,000 on the mortgage for your home. The amount you still owe on your car loan is $11,000. You still haven't paid off all of the student loans you got while in college, and you owe a total of $6,000 right now. At last, your credit card balances are down to $2,000. This is a good number to work with. When you add up all of your debts, you get a total debt of $399,000. Your net worth is found by taking the sum of all your debts and subtracting it from the sum of all your assets. Using this method, you have a total net worth of $183,000. Keep in mind that if you and your partner own your home together, you can only put half of it toward your own net worth because the other half belongs to your partner. Now that we know what it means to have a positive net worth, let's move on to the next step and look at what the poll showed. What is the average net worth of a person in the U.S.? The average net worth of a person in the United States is $746,820, while the median net worth is $121,760. The main reason why the mean is so much higher than the median is that there are some people in the United States who are much better off financially than the rest of the population. As we go through these numbers, it's important that you don't compare yourself too much to the rest of the group, because you may have gone through something in your life that is very different from what others have. You can use the survey to tell yourself that you are on the right track to getting richer and increasing your net worth. You can do this by patting yourself on the back and taking a look at the results. Now that that's out of the way, let's look at the average amount of money people have at different ages. In this section, we'll talk about the median, which we think is the best way to compare yourself to other people based on statistics. The median is a way to figure out the exact value that is in the middle of the group. For people under the age of 35. The average amount of money that people under 35 have is $14,000. This is probably because a lot of people haven't started saving a lot of money yet, and a lot of them are probably still making payments on their student loans. Some people in this age range may have a negative net worth, which means that their debts are more than their assets. For people aged 35 to 44. Between the ages of 35 and 44, the average net worth of a person is $91,110. People in this town have started saving more of their money and paying off their mortgages a little at a time. At this point, the vast majority of people have probably already started figuring out what kinds of assets they want to buy. For people aged 45 to 54. The average net worth of people between the ages of 45 and 54 is $168,800. Where it has almost grown to the same level as the group before it. In this age group, the younger kids are probably still living at home, while the older ones have started to move out and go to college. When you might have had to start saving money for their college costs. For people aged 55 to 64. The average person between the ages of 55 and 64 has a net worth of $213,150. The growth of people's net worth has slowed down a bit in this area. This may be because people would rather spend their money now, while they are still young, than later, when they might not have the same opportunities. For people aged 65 to 74. The average person between the ages of 65 and 74 has a net worth of $266,070. People will eventually start to retire in this area, if they haven't already. The amount of money that compound interest can keep and grow is almost at the point where it can do it on its own. For people aged 75 or older. The average amount of money owned by people 75 or older is $254,900. This is the first time that the difference in net worth between age groups has gone down. This could be a good thing because people in younger age groups will have started to spend the money they have earned and will have made plans for what they want to do with their money for the rest of their lives. How do you feel about your money now that we've talked about how much people of different ages have? Are you making good progress toward your goals, or do you need to invest a little more money each month to keep going? We would also like to talk with you about one more calculation. They have put everyone into two groups, renters and homeowners. When compared to renters, homeowners have a net worth of $254,900, while renters only have a net worth of $6,270. This is a big difference, but it's true for all age groups. It's possible that the results are skewed because people tend to rent homes early in their lives and buy them later, when their net worth has grown. There's also a chance that renters are more likely than homeowners to live from paycheck to paycheck and save less money for the future. Because homeowners may never know when something will break on their property, they may save more money. This is just another piece of information that could be thought about. Now that that's out of the way, let's talk about what you can do to increase your net worth and set yourself up for a better life in the future. When figuring out your net worth, all of your assets are subtracted from all of your debts. You can increase your net worth in one of two ways. The first thing you need to do is reduce how much you owe. You can do this by paying off your bills, which is especially important if you have a lot of credit card debt. Then you should probably think about ways to spend less money. There are many ways to get richer, but in general, it's best to put your money into assets that are going up in value. Now we can talk about the second plan. These can be things that get more valuable over time. Think about buying real estate, stocks, cryptocurrency, or collectibles as investments. It's best to put your money into something you know well and that has a track record of steadily going up in value over time. If you can increase your income without also increasing your spending, you will not only have more money left over at the end of each month, but you will also be able to use that money to build your net worth. This can be done by getting a raise at work or starting a side business in your spare time. Each of these choices is a good one. When you have bought a variety of assets that add up to a net worth of more than $100,000, it's time to be patient. At this point, compound interest will start to work for you and your net worth will start to grow on its own. After that, all you have to do is sit back, take it easy, and let time do the rest. This is how we'll increase our net worth, but it's important to remember that it's not the only way to measure success. It's just one way to figure out how rich you are. Just something to keep in mind as a point of comparison when judging yourself against others. Don't lose motivation because you're not exactly where you want to be right now. You can figure out how you want to get as rich as them by using their net worth as motivation to figure out how you want to get rich. We're here to help people with personal finance, so if you are interested in more topics like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel. That way you will be notified when we release a new video which might help you on your journey.